Good afternoon and welcome to the Gaunt podcast. I'm sorry, I'm just a few minutes late. Had a few technical problems. Can you tell me straight away? Can you hear me? Just put a thumbs up in the comments if you can. Just want to make sure that's working for you. Loads to talk about today. I want to talk about Starmer and what side is he on? Because I don't know about you, I'm fed up of the Chinese takeaway. I might have one myself later. We need a leader, not a lawyer. We don't need somebody to see both sides of the coin. We need someone who's willing to make a decision, take that decision, and then get on with it. Can you hear me? That's my first question. If you can you put that up in the comments, please? Just checking that that's working, and then we can get going. I've had all sorts of problems today, but let's see whether you react to that. There we are. Right, okay, there we are. Let's get started then. So I'm just waiting to see if that comes up as can you hear me? If you can, that'll be brilliant. Right, so we got Starmer, and we've got the position he's in at the moment. He's gone to, thanks Leanne for telling me loud and clear, you can go to the top of the class. Right, let's start the broadcast now properly. I'll just shut this door. Right, let's go. Why has he gone to China? Why the hell has he gone to China? Well, one, to avoid Prime Minister's questions, although that was as dull as ditch water today because it was Lammy versus some bloke on the other side I never heard of. Just a joke, taking a mickey out of all of us effectively, right? So Starmer's away. He's taken 60 business people. They've gone on a scheduled flight. I haven't got a clue what's going on because I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, China was the enemy. Have I got it wrong? Haven't we just been told they've been spying on us for years and years? They were even inside number 10, spying there, tracking the phones. Now, I know we do it as well, but why would we go on a massive trip at this point in time? Not only that, if you don't believe that they're a security threat, China, I mean, if perhaps all the Range Rovers they've ripped off, all the technology they've ripped off from us, the fact they're supplying all our gas and electricity infrastructure, the fact that they supply all our tellies, all our radios, the fact that the Chief of Defence Staff said, if you're in the army, don't talk about operational matters or even how your camp looks. Whatever you do, don't talk about it in a car because somebody might be listening. Walls have ears, although nowadays it's Apple Macs have ears, isn't it? It's a terrifying prospect. Now, if that wasn't the case, how come the government have told us they're all using burner phones and burner laptops, like crooks do, so that nothing can be tracked? Why are they doing that? Because I'll tell you why now. He's got no money. Rachel Reeves has spunked all the money up the wall. And that's the next question. Why isn't she on the trip? She was on the trip yesterday. Today, she didn't go. And did you see her in the comments next to Lammy? She had a face like a smacked arse. Can't blame her. If I had to sit next to that buffoon, I'd probably look the same. But why didn't he take her? What is afoot? Is he going to get rid of her? Did he want all the attention to be on him? These questions need answering. And is he really going to get any trade out of China compared to what he's got to give away? That's why I'm saying, what side is he on? The coughs come back. Which side is he on? Oh, and by the way, I'll tell you about the spa in a moment, the farm spa. I've been in agony all day. I had, how shall we put it, an accident at the farm, the self-sustainable spa. Very bad accident last night. And I'm in agony. So you're lucky I'm here at all. But I'll tell you about that later. There's a kind of funny side to it as well. But let's get back to these idiots. Do you think Starmer will achieve anything? And do you think, well, hold on a minute, John. We've got to trade with these people. We know they're filthy dictators. We know they've got 1 million Muslims in concentration camps. But, we'll look at the other way when it comes to that. But I'll tell you what we will do. We'll have a go at Trump if he dares step out of line. If he doesn't fit into our Guardian reading left liberal uber liberal view of the world, let's go skinny dipping in Catalonia, let's all eat tofu burgers. The moment he doesn't do that and he does some direct action, putting America first, we'll call him the orange fascist baby. China will put 1 million Muslims in a concentration camp. And do you think Starmer's going to bring that up? Oh, can I just have a word, Mr. President, about your human rights? Translators just disappeared. Do you see where I'm coming from? It's all bollocks, this. And I don't think we should be involved in this pantomime. I don't think we should. If they want to trade with us, fine. But does nobody in government not see what they're doing? Have you not seen the Range Rovers they've ripped off? The Jags they've ripped off? Everything you buy is a rip-off. It used to be that China improved things. I don't think they are now. I think they're trying to screw us to the floor. There is no way that Starmer should be there on a 3-day visit. I know he's going to Japan as well, but he just wants to be out of the country. He just wants his air miles up. And if anybody's got a reason why he hasn't taken Rachel Reeves, I smell something there. I wonder whether she's going to get ditched as soon as he comes back. The Chagos deal. Why did we give them the Chagos deal? Anybody know? Why on earth are we in this situation also where we're giving them the super embassy? Anybody know? I'd like to know your views on that. You see here, there's something just not adding up. And so I go back to my original question, which is this. Which side is Starmer on? What side is he on? Because and then there's the Chagos, of course, which is effectively going to China via Mauritius. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has sent an armada, the only way to describe it, of naval ships and fighter planes. Evidently, the one ship, the Abraham, or whatever it's called, has got more firepower than most African states, and they're just getting within shooting range of Iran. And he's basically sent out this message today, pardon me paraphrasing it, stop dicking me around, otherwise I'm going to unleash hell on you. Now, I hate the Iranian regime, probably like you. I'm not sure if this is exactly the right target, but what it is decisive leadership. Got a problem? We're going to solve the problem. Got a problem in Venezuela? He solved it. He's going to be something as audacious as what he did in Venezuela. Wouldn't you rather have a leader like that? I mean, I know you can't do direct comparisons, but at this point in history, would you be getting in bed with the Chinese, or would you be getting in bed more with Donald Trump? That's what I want to know. I'm going to come to your comments very quickly, because if you read my little intro, there's not a lot to say, but there's an awful lot to discuss. I'm saying this is madness. And Starmer, if it was a proper leader, I wouldn't mind. But Starmer couldn't negotiate his way out of a paper bag. Every deal he's come back and said he's got, we then lose again, i.e. America. The man is a liability. The Labour government are finished and they know it. That's why there was no effort at Prime Minister's questions today. Rachel Reeves, why isn't she with him? She's the Chancellor. They said she was going. I smell a rat. Only got 4 likes so far. What's up with you? Come on, let's get moving. And also, don't forget, later in the show, I'm going to tell you about my sustainable spa injury. Oh, I nearly killed myself last night. Lovely sauna in the middle of a cow yard. It was exactly as I described it, even though I hadn't seen it before. I'll tell you more later. Right, I'm going to go straight to the views of you. And we'll start with our resident lefty, Graham Fletcher. He says, simple, isn't it? Keep your friends close, your enemies closer. What, you think this is a brilliant diplomatic move by Starmer, do you? You think he can outwit the Chinese? I think you should think about that comment again, Graham. because it's rather pathetic, isn't it? That isn't what he's doing. What he's doing is trying to get a trade deal to make up for the massive deficit we've got. And he's hoping he comes back. I bet you he comes back with a headline, billions of pounds from the Chinese. It will never materialize. Be a bit like a Chinese meal. You'll be satisfied when you first eat it. 10 minutes later, you need a kebab. Do you know what I mean? That's Chinese food, isn't it, from a takeaway? It's the MSG or whatever it's called. So I just do not think we'll get a deal. Well, I think we will, but it'll be bullshit. And I don't think we should be doing a deal with them. I really don't. How much more do they have to steal before we say, hold on a minute, that's enough. We're not putting up with this anymore. Along with our allies in America and the rest of it, of course. I'm surprised Chairman Starmer hasn't paid a visit to North Korea to find out how it's really done. Nice one. Richard says that hideous EV Range Rover clones. Well, that's what I'm talking about, Richard. That's what they've done. They've completely ripped off the Range Rover. And this is how thick our media is. I've seen articles in some of the newspapers saying, oh, for the car, it's a great price. Why would you want to spend 100 grand on a Range Rover when you can have this? Well, because it's a cheap rip-off and it's not the same. But promoting it reminds me when I told you when I worked at this Triumph Standard in Coventry. I used to find it amazing that those who did drive to work had Japanese cars or French cars. They didn't have British cars that they were making. It's like turkeys voting for Christmas. But as long as the price is right, they didn't give a shit. The price of everything and the value of nothing. But he's going to sell us down the river. Starmer is getting back into the EU, who have just screwed Europe by their deal with India. Starmer goes running to China. This is David's theory. They're trying to get rid of the USA completely out of Europe. It sounds like the cow dip went well, John. No. If you look closely at my forehead, I've got an impression there. That's how it ended. That's how it ended with my head acting like a brake. But I'll tell you the rest of it in a moment. Stay tuned for the cow dip saga. I went to a sustainable spa last night with my daughter. Yes, in this weather, freezing, stripped off outside, just my shorts on. She had a bikini on. Go in the sauna, marvellous. Loving it. But then, more coming in a minute. Keep listening, keep watching. Another taxpayers-funded holiday is Andrew Aitkins' view on Facebook of what Starmer is up to. Thank you for that, my friend. Trump all the way. FCK Chairman Starmer. Yeah, well, that's how I feel. But they're all going to hate Trump now, aren't they? Because Trump is obviously, with what's happening in Minneapolis, has angered a lot of Americans as well. He's now said, okay, we'll pull back a bit and we'll talk, which is what I was saying should happen the other day. But you can't just keep letting illegals in. He was doing what the American people asked him to do. Get rid of illegals. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying shooting people in the face 3 times is right. But there's a lot more in those stories to come out. But we'll come back to that. But so at the moment, everybody's hating on Trump, which I find bizarre. Because no matter what, he is, he's a Republican, but he's a Democrat, isn't he? Look what he's done for, what he's doing for Zelensky, although he's never satisfied. Look what's happened in Venezuela. Look what's happened in Israel and against Hamas. And I think tonight or tomorrow night, Iran is going to get, those mad mullahs are going to get absolutely messed up. And they deserve it. They're saying they're not going to back down. But he's having it. He's the new sheriff in town and he's going for it. Well, I don't know about you. I'd prefer that in our leadership. Starmer should have said, you're not having the embassy. You're not having the Chagos Isles. They're ours. And we're not coming over to see you. Because you know what? If we did come over to see you, it's to go mad at all the products that you've ripped off. They've got whole bloody towns which are there to do counterfeit goods. My mate used to be in fashion, right? Quite high-end. I can't tell you the group he worked for, but high-end fashion. But he said you'd go along and there'd be suits getting made for Armani or whoever, right? And on the next line, they're making the knockoff versions. All okay by the Chinese state. You wouldn't have that in this country, would you? You'd end up in prison. You can't trust the Chinese, the Chinese Communist Party. You can't. I'm not saying individual Chinese people. I'm not even saying all Chinese people. What I am saying is the Chinese Communist Party are taking us over by stealth. When that guy, I think he was the head of the military, he said, be careful what you say in a car. That worried the hell out of me. Because if they can have put stuff in car radios, well, they're not called radios now, but you understand what I mean, in your iPhones, what else have they put it in? Did I ever tell you the tale? When I had a big house, I bought two DVD players. It was in the times of DVDs. Bought them on the same day. They both packed up within a week of each other, about a week after the warranty came out, stopped. That's built-in obsolescence. And what the Chinese have taught us is, don't bother trying to get it fixed. Just get a new one. So everything's got built-in obsolescence. But who's controlling all of that? China. Likewise, when I worked at the Triumph Standard, one of the major problems they had was getting parts there on time. Now everything is on that system of just in time. But where's most of the stuff coming from? China, not just in the car industry, across the board. They have got us by the short and curlies. And what Starmer's going to do, he's probably going to go there and make it even worse. He is useless. He has to be removed. Trump got a problem. You know what I'm going to do? Venezuela. I'm fed up of them bringing drugs into America. Oh, and also controlling all the oil. I'll tell you what we'll do. Marco Rubio, whatever your name is, J.D. Vance. We're going to go in with our troops, who are the most beautiful troops in the world, and we're going to kidnap the Venezuelan dictator. Oh, don't be stupid, sir. We can't do that. What? I don't understand. Can't. Yes, we can, and we're going to. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Can we build it? Yes, we can. It's Bob the Builder syndrome. I'm joking, but you see what I'm trying to get at. Whereas we've got that idiot who dithers. He dithers and he dallies. Dallies and he dithers. And then when he makes the decision, it's the wrong decision. 15 U-turns already. And we're letting him go and negotiate with the Chinese Communist Party? We need our heads examining. Starmer's playing between scrounging Islamists and China who hate Islam. I can't see that we've got anything that China wants. Well, no, mainly, Pam, because they've already had a takeaway. They've taken everything they want, but they will take the lot. They want our country. They want to destroy us. I hope he stays in China. I know I wouldn't miss him at all, John, says Den Spinks. Thank you, Den. Hopefully during a COVID resurgence. Now, come on, there's no need for that, Richard Pope. He said, automatically he's put one underneath. I apologise. That was a bit nasty. Yes, it was, Richard. You're going to get your bottom smacked if you carry on saying stuff like that. Right, let's have some more comments then. Talk to me about Trump. Do you worry that Trump will take us into World War III, or do you think, no, Trump will tell them straight, there'll be a massive bombardment, and then we can move on? It is always worrying when they start talking about regime change, isn't it? I accept that. But Iran can't carry on like it's doing, can it? What's your views? And do you worry about China? Maybe you've worked over there. I mean, I know so many people in Coventry who have gone and worked over there in the car industry and the rest of it. And they enjoy themselves. They say you have a fantastic time. I know some academics who have worked over there because money is no object. So maybe you want to talk about that. But what about Trump? Are you like me? I can't wait for him to bomb the fuck out of Iran. I can't. The regime I'm talking about, not the ordinary people. I feel sorry for them. But they're all, I've been watching them on television today. They can't wait for America to take strong, decisive, and as Trump himself said today, violent action. Well, I think that's going to happen. Right. Last night then, I told you I was going to this spa thing, right? And the only thing I knew was that Rosie had told me it's in a farmyard and it's a shed. It's a bit better than a shed. It's a shed You get stripped off outside down to your boxer shorts or whatever, or your trunks. And she said, don't worry, Dad, it's only for me and you. What she didn't tell me was to get there, we had to go up this country track, had more potholes than the Somme. Well, more potholes than Iran's going to have towards the Imperial Palace by the end of this evening, right? It's pitch black, and the only lights are a few fairy lights. I said, how much you paid for this? She said, it's a tenner for our exclusive use. I said, all right. So by then, right, as a dad, you can't back out, can you? Because it's something she really wants to do, and she'd done before. So I'm 64. I'm past getting stripped off in a cow yard. She also told me, of course, that if you wanted to dip in the water after you got really hot, there's an old bath. In fact, in this one, there wasn't. There was a shower, but it was just basically a hose pipe on a hook. So we get stripped off. We go in, and it's once you're inside the cubicle, it was all wood, obviously. It was lovely. It smelled lovely. You couldn't smell the cow shit. It just smelled lovely. It was great. Very relaxing. We did 15 minutes. And then she said, you're hot enough now? I said, yes. She said, well, come on then. We'll just go outside. I said, go outside where? Just outside of the sauna, she said. Hut, I thought. And we'll just acclimatise. I.e. stand with my boxer shorts in the middle of a cow shit field till my temperature came down. What did I do? Like a mug? Yeah, okay, Rosie, let's go. So I walk outside with her. I'm standing there. I tell you what, my nipples went so hard you could have got Moscow on them. Moscow calling. Honestly, it was ridiculous. Forget about my willy. That had disappeared about a day earlier in the weather. But anyway, so I'm standing there, and she said, do you want a drink of water? I brought some water with me. I said, yeah, go on then. So she steps down to where we'd left the clothes. I followed her, and then that's when it happened. I went arse over tit, because it was icy last night, and even though it was on my bare feet, icy, slipped down the step, rolled forwards onto my knees, both my knees onto like slabs, or I don't know what they were, horrible, right? And then Rosie said, then you were like one of those rocking things that you used to get at the fairground. Your head just came forward and your head butted the fence post. And then she said, oh, Dad, then I was really worried about you because then you came backwards and I didn't want you to bang your head on the back. I'm on the floor. I'm almost stark, you know what, naked. I'm half sweating, half soaking because the water went everywhere. And I'm in a cow field, and the only light is the fairy light. Oh, Rosie then got her iPhone, so she's got the iPhone on me. If a copper had come at that time, I'd have probably got arrested. Right? They would have thought I'm up to no good. Stood up, well, eventually stood up. My knees were red raw. My right knee is bruised like I don't know what. It looks like I've been playing football, with somebody, I don't know, like some, what's his name? The man new one. It's gone. Anyway, that'll become an anecdote if I keep working on it. Anyway, so I'm in absolute agony. I managed to stand back up, and she said, well, let me look at your head. She gets the iPhone. She's got the iPhone like that, and she's got it on my head. And here, you probably can't see it. I've got like a big mark, but it didn't bleed, so therefore it's not going to be a scar. But my knees were. Anyway, this morning I got up and I was in bloody agony. And I said, oh, well, trying to make light of it. I said, I don't know, you can just call me Scarface from now. She said, well, that sounds a bit better than scuffed knees, you fat so-and-so. Taking the mick. Unbelievable. But honestly, I don't think I've broken it, but my right knee is black and blue. And then this morning, just before that's my phone, hold on a minute. Just before she left for work, she said, do you want to go again? And you know what I said? Yeah, give me a week or so and I'll go with you. Because I actually enjoyed it, apart from the injuries, the things we do for our kids. So there's the story. Gaunt's spa story. I'll work on it. It'll become a really funny anecdote soon because there'll be all kinds of other famous people in there with us. I'll make up a load of stuff to make it a bit more interesting. But I can't tell you how bad the pain is. And it's still bad now. Just the right one. Right, let's move on. Let's get back to the serious stuff. China, Trump. Let's talk about what's happening. It's Western companies outsourcing manufacturing to China. It's Western companies who design obsolescence in these products. I wasn't being racist, Charles Freeman. I was just saying I don't care who's doing it, but it's inspired, isn't it, by the fact they've got cheap labor in China. Oh, sorry, not just cheap labor. They've got slave labor. Have you not read the stories about the people who work doing the batteries? So, Charles, don't come on here giving me a little bit of socialist talking to and give me Western guilt. I don't need it. I don't need it. I know we're involved in it, and I know that's bad, and I know big companies are doing it. I'm not trying to paint the Chinese all as baddies. You pathetic cretin. Right, let's move on. Dave, talk to myself. David KT, have you been tested for foot and mouth yet, John? I don't know, but I maybe should do. I'll tell you what I've put on it this morning. Sudocrem. I haven't used Sudocrem since the girls had nappy rash. Doesn't soothe it either. Just stings like bloody crazy. No anti-scald, those old push or shower attachments. Lol, says Richard Pope. Yeah. Do you remember who brought that in? That was, I was on the radio in Coventry when that happened. It was Prescott, wasn't it? John Prescott decided you had to have warnings on taps. Don't have it on too hot. You might get scolded. It was the beginning of all that kind of health and safety nonsense, wasn't it? You remember? And now taps can only be at a certain temperature. No, but there was none of that, Richard, because it was either on, freezing cold, or off, right? What possible enjoyment can you get out of going in a sauna? The sauna part I've always liked, but I've normally done it in health clubs or hotels. The sauna bit, I love. Absolutely love it. I think it does you good, unblocks your sinuses, all the rest of it's good. I've never understood the bit where you then go outside, even if it's inside, if you know what I mean, and have a cold shower. That bit I don't get that bit. Why do you want to do that? Psst, everything disappears apart from your nipples that go as rock solid, like I said to you earlier. I don't know. Den Spink says it is health and safety. Can't you put a claim in? Oh, yeah, that would go down well, wouldn't it? First time I've ever been there, I'm claiming. I wouldn't do that. This is just a young couple, got a little old farmyard, and they're trying to make a bit of money on the side. You'd be telling me to ask for a receipt next. It was partly, well, probably largely my fault. I don't know. I wouldn't go. If I go again, I'll be wearing flip-flops. So what I've got to do now, I've got to get down to Dover and ask one of the boys, well, you don't need those flip-flops anymore, do you? You're getting a brand new pair of Adidas next week. Oh, so you got them already? Oh, can I have your flip-flops? No, I'm going to sell them. Oh, that's typical, that is, isn't it? Eh? Charity doesn't bring it at home, or does it? What, back in Afghanistan or the Sudan? If you don't listen to me regularly, you won't have a clue what I'm on about now. But yeah, that's where I'm going to get my flip-flops from. Although I must tell you, I can't wear flip-flops. I like those slides that all the footballers wear. And I've even thought about buying a pair of Crocs. I know. But flip-flops, I don't like the fact that there's that bit that goes between your toes. Anyway, Starmer will feel at home with his commie buddies over in China, says Graham Hatton. The man is a Marxist through and through. He's dragging his country slowly and surely into an abyss. I agree, which is why I say he's got to be stopped and stopped now. That's somebody else saying about health and safety. Thank you very much. Neither. Just an egg thrower and a receiver, says Caesar. I haven't got a clue what that means, but thank you very much indeed. Such fun. You're in the wrong profession, John. You're a great comedian. I don't think I am. But by the time I've told that tale about 1,500 times, it'll be funny. Because I didn't practice it. I just thought I better tell you what happened last night. I am in agony. Rosie's not back till 10. And you know what? The ultimate irony tonight is when I come here, she's got a great Chinese restaurant. And I do like, what do you call that? Spicy chicken, spicy beef one. I had the menu somewhere earlier, but I normally got that. But last time she said, no, have the king prawns in yellow bean sauce. You'll love it, Dad. So we went half and half. I got the one I normally like. Oh, Fu Young or something. I think he plays for Arsenal, Spurs. But anyway, Kung Po style, hot as hell. So normally have that, but I had this. What did I just say it was called? I've forgotten. Anyway, prawns in yellow bean sauce. So tonight, yesterday I was thinking this. I didn't tell her while she was here because she'd tell me off. And I'm scared of her. I thought, well, that's what I'll do tomorrow. I'll nip up the Chinese. I always call it the Chinese. I don't use any abbreviations, me, because I'm politically correct. I thought I'll just nip up to the Chinese. And I normally go with the dog. And I stand outside. And the fella comes out because you're not allowed to take the dog in. There's a joke there, but I'm not going to make it because, as you know, I'm very politically correct. So I was going to nip up there and get this tonight. But now I won't be nipping anywhere. I'll be limping. And there's nothing in the house. I feel terrible. You should be sympathetic. One thing I do notice, I've had 81 likes and not one donation. I didn't have any donations last night either. I told you, that, when the phone just went, that was Lisa, because I'm at Rose's house. She's probably phoning me to say, why aren't you getting any donations? I've lost my touch, Lisa. I'm sorry. The Midas touch is gone. No one wants to help me. I'll be selling the big issue outside Owen & Owens in Coventry. Well, it's not Owen & Owens anymore, is it? Primark. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, big issue. But if you'd like to donate, even if it's only out of sympathy and from a bad knees, please feel free. Just click the dollar sign and send anything you want or you can afford, or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. I've got to say thank you to Tracy. She bought me a coffee this morning. Very kind of you, Tracy. Thank you. The problem is we're all buying Chinese cheap goods. And some of it, I'm afraid to say, is pretty good. You've just get your teeth in, John. Every time I rub my head like that, which is something I've noticed I do quite a bit, that mark, that bruise really hurts. Anyway, what were you saying? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Leanne Tail. We all want it cheap. Chinese used to mean cheap and crap. It now means cheap and usually pretty damn good. You combine that with Amazon, right? And it's the perfect storm, isn't it? I don't think, I'll go down the hardware shop. Hardware shop? Do you remember hardware shops? I used to love going in them. Just come with me now. Come with me. And you smell the blue paraffin. Oh, yes. You could take me blindfolded into an old-fashioned hardware shop, and I'll tell you, it was a hardware shop. You used to be able to take me into the co-op, right? You could smell, the old-fashioned co-ops? Ugh. We had one on the Fossil Road before Zara Sultana started looking after the place. And they had the thing where you put the money in a chute and then they pressed the chute, and by pressure, it must have gone up to the accounts office or something. I don't know how it worked. I was only a little kid, but I thought it was brilliant. Why did I get on talking about the co-op? That's gone. It'll come back. So I think I might have injured my head. So yeah, we're buying Chinese cheap goods. You're right. But now buying Chinese is usually reliable. So we all go straight on Amazon, don't even think about going to a shop, and we buy it. And we want it like now, tomorrow. But have you seen today? This is quite tragic for Coventry. 16,000 jobs Amazon are going to get rid of. You know why? Because they're using AI more. And the lads and lasses who were packing the goods and picking the goods, and by the way, that's one hell of a job, picking the goods, because you've got to do so many in such a time. They've now developed the technology to do it. So it's like they were working to make themselves redundant. I don't know what to think about it in the end. Because, to be fair, that's the modern world, isn't it? But we're going to have, it made me think when I heard about these redundancies, I think I've told you before, the day that they closed down the Triumph Standard, 25,000 blokes, mainly blokes, lost their jobs. These blokes used to walk over this common called Hersal Common in Coventry, and they were like ants. You know when you first go on an aeroplane, you look down and you see people and they look like ants, that sort of thing. And then overnight, they all didn't have work. So then not overnight, but over a few months, those beautiful houses they had on what I used to call the car workers' estates, right? Because they were earning such great money. Bang, disappeared. That's when Coventry became the ghost town. Yeah, once the boom town became the ghost town. I don't know. And that's the weird thing about Coventry. Coventry now is like a bit of a boom town again, but very violent. But they built all these high-rise. But they're all high-rise for students. And most of the students are, yes, Oriental in appearance. Don't know whether they're all from China. But how much longer is that going to go on? Because I've got a mate who's a professor. And he was telling me, they're always offering you work over there. And all these universities, Coventry University, have built their kind of economic plans on having these students from those sorts of countries. And now what the Chinese are doing are going to the professors and saying, why don't you come and live in Shanghai or wherever they make the cars? And you can do your car design course here. They pay them an absolute fortune. Therefore, they don't have to send their students out of communist China, which is what obviously they don't want to do. And that's what's happening. And if you don't believe me, do you know what they're doing with some of the student accommodation that was built for the students? I mean, and it's like a different world. When I was at university, we used to actually, the toilet was at the back of the kitchen, in the terraced house. We used to have to break the ice on the toilet in the morning. That's how bloody cold it was in there. Yeah? Not now. Students want their own ensuite bathroom. They pay like 150 quid a week for these flats. Anyway, the demand is going down. So guess what? The government are asking. I know this because I've got a mate who's in that, and he said no so far. They want to use a lot of this student accommodation for guess who? Bang on. The flip-flop warriors. So the flip-flop warriors, it'd be easier for me to get my flip-flops. I'm trying to look on the bright side. But that's what's happening. You don't know which bits of this is true and which bits is just me being a bit paracetamoled up, do you? But you make a really good point, Leanne. That's what got me into that we all do want cheap stuff. You're absolutely right. Terry Wheatley is trying to get his back on the straight and narrow with a serious point. That's a good point. Apparently, Rwanda are going to sue us for 100 million. Watch this space from our Home Secretary. Yep, they are, because they say that we didn't pay them for all the work they put in when we were going to go there. That was the other mob's idea, though, wasn't it? Rishi. We should never, ever have got rid of Rwanda. It was a deterrent. At the time, I said it was rubbish and a waste of time, wouldn't happen. But looking back on it, I was wrong. You do need a deterrent. Displays 1, 2, 3, 4. Starmer, nothing but a pure communist direct dictator. Thank you. Steve, 50 UK. I bought some Chinese fishing chairs and the welding was so bad they fell apart. You sure? Wasn't your lardy arse? No, I have got some stuff where it's absolute rubbish. You're right. But on the whole, it has got better, the quality of the stuff. John, as a motorcyclist, I can tell you that the spec on Chinese bikes are amazing. Incredible value for money. Well, that's funny you should say that, because that's what these other people are saying about the Range Rovers. That they're 30 grand, but you can't really tell the difference. Now, I'm sure you can, but that's how they convince themselves it's a good investment. But let's face it. Let's be honest about Range Rovers. At one point, Range Rovers weren't the most reliable car in the world, were they? If you bought it and it was built on a Friday, you had problems. We brought a lot of this on ourselves, don't you think? I don't know. I deliver to new build housing estates, and the majority of residents are Chinese. Are they students? Richard Pope? It's an interesting point you're making. Brilliant story, John. Very funny. Nearly choked on me dinner. Awesome stuff, that. I love your stories. Keep on coming. Well, if you love it that much, you can come around my house tomorrow and rub Sudocrem into my knees. Oh, that's the other as well. My arse is hurting as well. I didn't fall on my arse. I fell on my knees. I'm just falling apart. Thank you, Dan. You're a top man. I remember the old Croc Fair on Hersal Common. Oh, yes. Once a year. Yeah. Careful, we're going into Coventry nostalgia. I don't mind. By the way, I'm stopping in a moment. So, and if I don't get any more donations, I haven't got one yet, then I'm not doing it tomorrow because I'm going to be injured. I'll be in hospital. I'll be like in one of those carry-on films. You'll come in and you'll see my leg. One leg will be up in the air and the other one will be half in the air, right? And some bright spark will come in and pull it down, yeah? They don't make comedy like that anymore. Starmer will feel very comfortable doing deals in China. He's a Marxist as it is. There'll be no deals that benefit us. That's a given. Thank you very much indeed. The tyres from China are made from cardboard, says Steve. Are you pulling my plonker? I can just about find it again now after last night in that cold. But they're not made of cardboard. What are you on about? Rubbish. Jackie Ward. Starmer couldn't help but go to China. The communist inside him was pulling him there. I'm just hoping he stays. I don't think he will. They made that joke today, didn't they? In Prime Minister's Questions. I'm going to share your channel on Twitter, says Steve50 UK. Thank you, Steve. That's kind of you. So I got something out of it. I got to share. So that's good. Right, 41 minutes you've had for no money. I'm off. I've got to now decide, can I limp all the way to the Chinese? Or do I've got half a bottle of wine, so I'll be a cheap date and just get drunk. I don't know. I'll tell you tomorrow if you tune in. Thanks very much for following me. Thanks very much for supporting me. Thanks for nothing, for not giving any donations, but that'll get better. It's payday this week, isn't it, for normal people? Jackie Ward just sent me 3 red hearts. That means I can stop. Thank you, Jackie. All right, I'm off. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Although 5:30 seemed to work well the other day. So I don't know. It might be 6, might be 5:30. I haven't found the perfect time yet to do these shows. Thanks a lot. I'll see you tomorrow. The most important thing, join John Gaunt TV on YouTube. That's the best way of knowing what I'm up to. When you go there the first time, they'll ask if you want to subscribe. It doesn't mean you got to pay any money. It's free. Do that, then you get notified every time I do one. And if you want to donate, www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt, or send me a super sticker or whatever they're called on YouTube. Okay? And then, really, the most important thing is, if you've got kids, give them a kiss. Give them a hug. Don't go with them to one of these sustainable saunas in the dark in the middle of bloody January. But don't forget to keep telling them you love them. See ya. Bye.